There was nothing remarkable or miraculous about how I began my short stint as a single mom. I was raised in a Christian home in a very conservative country church that maybe skewed a bit older. I was saved as a child and I had a relationship with Jesus, but I had a bit of a rebellious first year of college and I found myself pregnant by sophomore year. If you consider your own life, most of the mistakes, the shortcomings, the sin, you're able to keep at least mostly hidden from the public eye, but there's something particularly difficult about facing the consequences of your sin in public. There is no hiding a pregnancy, and it was hard, really scary to go back to my church and to acknowledge my situation. And it's funny, during my senior year of high school youth group, my youth pastor had us each write out our testimonies, and I remember thinking in that moment that I've lived too blessed a life. I remember actually asking God to give me a testimony of his love for me. And God answers prayer like it's his job. Because when I went back to that church pregnant and full of apprehension and fearful, that's where I found the fullness of the love of God. I was completely embraced and supported and encouraged and loved, and not as a would-be single mom, not as somebody they felt sorry for, but as a worthy daughter of the King of Heaven, just like I was before, as a beloved and favored child who goes through stuff, messy stuff, life, and does it wrong sometimes. Not one person looked down on me or made me feel ashamed. I had sweet, older, pious women I'd known as faithful my whole life pat me on the hand and say, "Sweetheart, it could have been me." And the presence of God ministered to me through the people of that church. And if there's one thing I can testify to in my entire life, it's this. God loves people through his church. It's the biggest and the best thing that we're called to do, church, to love people, to take care of each other. No matter what ministries you're called to or what your specific giftings are, all God requires of you is that you love his children. That experience solidified what I knew to be true about God, but it entirely transformed what I knew about his church.